Hello guys, and welcome to another video in our channel. So Chelsea failed to win again, conceding another last minute goal that saw them drop another 3 points. And I'm going to do a tactical analysis video of this game. I think Enzo Maresca made some interesting tactical changes in this game, and I'm going to discuss them, though Chelsea were quite unlucky. Now, looking at Chelsea's last 4 matches, you can see that Chelsea have not won any of their last 4 matches, losing 2 matches and drawing 2 matches. But when you look at all those matches, you can realize that it was only the Ipswich game where the opponent had a better XG than Chelsea. But again, you can see that Chelsea should have scored at least 2 goals in both. And this is indicating that Chelsea have really been underperforming in front of goal. Now, Chelsea lined up in their 4-2-3-1 formation, while Crystal Palace lined up in a 3-4-3 kind of structure. So what did Enzo Maresca do? Remember, Crystal Palace manager had talked about how he understood the way Chelsea beat with a 3-5 or a 3-1-6, and he was prepared for that. But Enzo Maresca had a tactical trick up his sleeve, and he actually displayed it in this game. Before we even start our analysis, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. So even in this game, we saw the debut of Achimpong, who came, and I think he really played quite well. I was really impressed. I would pick him any day over Tosin Rabiot and Disasi. Defended well, played well, was well composed, excellent footballer. Now, we saw Chelsea were quite unlucky, because I think Chelsea had a lot of opportunities to put this game to bed. And again, it was just one of those games where, Chelsea failed to capitalize on their chances and the opponents take points from Chelsea. And it happened. It happened with Nicholas Jackson in multiple occasions. It happened with Pedro Neto in multiple occasions. There was also the penalty appeal upon the foul on Pedro Neto, but that fell onto deaf ears, and here we are. So what tactical structures did Enzo Maresca deploy? So Palace understood that teams nowadays are sitting deep and denying Chelsea any space and then hitting Chelsea in transition. That's why Chelsea have really struggled. And Crystal Palace expected Chelsea to line up in a 3-5 structure by pushing both Fernandes and Palma in the half space and inverting probably Malo Gusto in that midfield so that they can form that 3-5 box midfield. But Palace were wrong, because Chelsea in this game actually altered the way they use their fullbacks, with Maresca preferring to use conventional fullbacks, playing with a flat 4-4-3. Now, in this structure, when Palace decided to go man-to-man, then Sanchez would step forward and act as the third man, rather than having a fullback tacking in. This was very strange, because when Chelsea deployed themselves in a 4-3-3, with Palma and Fernandes playing on either side and the wingers starting wide, and you can see it here. Chelsea in a 4-3-3, the fullbacks are hugging the touchline, playing as conventional fullbacks. Fernandes and Cole Palmer in those spaces in between the lines, and a narrow front three of Sancho, Jackson, and Pedro Neto, allowing Chelsea to alter the way they normally build up. Now, this alteration created problems for Palace, especially in midfield, because now Palace wingers were tasked to cover Chelsea's fullbacks, and this led them to get automatically outnumbered in midfield because of the position that Cole Palmer and Fernandes were picking in between the lines. During the build-up phase, it was only Caicedo who was dropping deep to act as an extra build-up option, and because of the positions that Palmer and Fernandes were picking in between the lines, this made it reluctant for Crystal Palace to press aggressively forward. And whenever they did, Palmer in particular would receive this ball and immediately look to progress. Though it was actually Palmer who lost the ball for Chelsea, conceding that goal, but you can see the pattern that was deployed by Chelsea. Now, this 4-3-3 created a lot of problems, because now Chelsea had numerical advantages in the wide areas by having the fullbacks and the wide players, as well as that numerical superiority in midfield with both Palmer, Caicedo, and Fernandes. Now, Chelsea approached the wide areas in two ways, either Sancho receiving the ball high up and looking to slip in Fernandez. You can see here, Sancho is receiving the ball, and the player who's looking to make run towards Jadon Sancho is Fernandez. Fernandez, who was supposed to occupy that half space, is looking to make runs to create that 1-2 with Sancho. Sancho is able to spot Fernandez, and Fernandez is looking to make an underlapping run for Jadon Sancho. Now in this case, Sancho decides to slip the ball onto Fernandez, who makes a cutback. But you see, the problem with Chelsea is that a lot of players were not attacking the box. I expected Palmer to make a huge run, especially in that central near post position, but he was not there to do that. Now, the patterns of play of Chelsea in the box have really not been the best, and I saw that with Neto, who was not looking to attack that far post area. Sancho sometimes in this position would even tuck in field as they tried to outnumber Crystal Palace's backline, with Marc Cucurella also looking to make that overlapping run where Sancho would slip him and look to have him in an area where he could make crosses that could hurt Crystal Palace. But whenever Cucurella was making these overlapping runs, he managed to whip in crosses, but again, the finishing, the positioning of Jackson in particular was not quite the best. The same thing was also happening on the other side, with Malo Gusto also looking to make those runs. And Neto in particular was poor in not trying to pick him up. And that's why I believe that Noni Madueke would have played a pivotal role in this game. Now, the conventional approach for Chelsea also allowed them to counter press quite well, because Crystal Palace came in with the idea that they would look to try and play balls in behind, especially in the spaces vacated by the fullbacks. But because of the position of Chelsea's fullbacks in high and wide areas, Chelsea automatically managed to win these balls in the wide areas, even when they tried to use the aerial dominance of Mateta to try to get the better of Levi Colwill and Acheampong. Now, whenever Chelsea won the ball, their build-up play was not quite the best, because you can see here, Fernandez is looking to play the ball back and Palmer is quite free. If he just plays that ball to Palmer, then probably Chelsea find themselves in a position to hurt Palace. But what were Chelsea doing out of possession? Now, the 4-3-3 also gave problems to Chelsea out of possession, because Chelsea's forwards looked to go man-to-man against Crystal Palace centre-backs. And this sometimes worked because they would also use their two pivots to press aggressively. But when Palace decided to spread their centre-backs and push their goalkeeper forward, they would automatically outnumber Chelsea. And because Palace will drop both their inside forwards in those midfield regions and push their wing-backs high, then they automatically formed that box midfield that outnumbered Chelsea during build-up. In particular, Fernandez was caught in two minds, whether to cover the dropping in Eze or look to cover the central defensive midfielder. And we can see this with the clips on how Crystal Palace actually managed to transition through Chelsea, and this created problems. Here you can see Chelsea are aggressively pressing Crystal Palace in a man-to-man approach. But look at Fernandez. He's caught in two minds. Should he cover the double pivot, or should he look to stay and cover the player who is wide? Now, the ball is played towards the double pivot. Fernandez steps forward, but he doesn't use his cover shadow well. And now, Lemar, who has the ball, is able to play the ball to Eze, who had dropped quite deep. Eze receives the ball in this space. The wingback is making the underlapping run, and Chelsea's forward and midfield line have been bypassed, and now Crystal Palace are running at Chelsea's backline. That's where we found some tactical challenges in this game for Chelsea. Another thing we saw was Palace going directly, utilizing the aerial dominance of Mateta, who would hold the ball up and play the ball to Eze. Eze in this position will be looking to slip the ball to wing-backs, who will be looking to make crosses in Chelsea's box. Chelsea so far have managed to secure 2 points out of possible 12, dropping 10 points. Very disastrous. 10 points that will have actually put Chelsea in a very, very comfortable position. Now, even teams like Manchester City are looking to catch up with Chelsea. Chelsea are having a crisis, and I'm going to do a detailed analysis on what is actually the problem with Chelsea. Chelsea are losing something that made them gain points. If they are not able to regain that, they might actually even fail to secure top 4 this season. What do you think? Do you agree with my analysis of this video? And I will be looking to have your comments for the video that I will be dropping again tomorrow. Thank you for staying with us, and thank you for watching this channel. Bye.